just want to make you a quick video. Sometimes it's a little bit easier for me to make a video than to try to get kind of all my thoughts out in words. It's a little bit quicker for me. So I hope that kind of works for you as well. So you sent me a few emails and kind of a few questions and things, and I had a few comments that I wanted to get back to you on. But again, sometimes I can't quite articulate them in an email, and it wouldn't make much sense. So you sent me a pretty long email about, and for, the first thing I actually want to say is, you're doing an awesome job so far. I know things are challenging, and I'm going to address that in a second. But you're reaching out, you're asking questions, you're engaged, you're trying, and I see that. And I know that you want to be on this journey, and I know that you want to put the work in and get better. So that's awesome, and you're off to a great start. Now, what I wanted to address is you sent me a kind of a long email about some of the things that are going on in your life. And the first thing I want to say about that is I'm so sorry that you're dealing with all of that. PTSD alone is a hard thing to deal with. And then you add health issues and all of these other things on top of that. And yes, of course, it gets so much more challenging. So I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. And, what I wanted to actually specifically address, and, I hope this comes, because this, from me, it comes from a place of love and passion and the need and the kind of the want to serve you at the highest level. So, this might come off as a hug and a kick in the butt at the same time. And that's kind of how it's intended to come off. You told me a lot in that email about the things that you can't do and the things that you're struggling with, right? And I know that's part of kind of me being a coach and me coaching to help you. But what I want to help you do is develop a how can I attitude. So how can I? And I want you to start to think about that phrase, how can I? How can I do something? How can I still make progress on the program? How can I, connect with people? How can I work on my recovery, right? How can I log into the program? How can I spend time moving forward? And start to think of how can I instead of how can't I? Because you told me a lot of things that you can't do. And I want to hear the things that you can do. And so, you said you're having trouble with your eyesight and headaches and things like that. And again, those things they're not easy things to deal with. But, at the end of the day, this is the deck of cards that you have. And I know in your deck, there are opportunities to be grateful, and I want you to start looking for them. And there are things that you can do and that you can do well. And I want you to start looking for those things. So if eyesight is a problem, if you can still hear, how can I go into the program and get the most out of it? Okay, well, I can listen to the program. I don't have to watch it because it bothers my eyes because it's tough on the screen. So I just have to log in and I'm just going to listen, right? And if you can only listen for 30 minutes at a time, that's okay, or 15 minutes at a time. Look for the things that you can do. How can I get a little bit better? How can I log in and watch one module? How can I take action on one of the things you'll get your workbook soon, one of the worksheets? How can I do one worksheet? How can I do one thing? How can I take one little step forward? How can I get 0.1% better? We're not looking for big leaps and bounds. And it's so important that, I try to communicate that to you, again, in a very, very loving way. This comes from the bottom of my heart because this is something I needed to hear too. Start to focus your things on the things that you can do, the things that you are good at, and the things that will allow you and help you to succeed, even if it's at a snail's pace, so long as you're moving forward. And I promise you, small steps are just as good as big steps. This journey is tough. It's a challenging journey. And the very bottom line is you're going to have to work through these things. You're going to have to find a way to do these things, whatever your life hands you, right? No matter what the situation you're in, you're going to have to do these things to recover from PTSD. So I hope that comes from a loving place. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story. When I was young, and I still am, I'm dyslexic, right? I have a hard time kind of articulating my thoughts in text sometimes because I can't spell. I have such a hard time reading. And when I was very, very young, I thought I was stupid. And I had this how can't I attitude. I was always looking at the things that I couldn't do. And so all through middle school, all through high school, and my brother was smartest guy in our high school. He was the valedictorian. So I was always comparing myself to him, and I was saying, I can't read as fast as him, and I'm not as smart as him, and I need extra time on tests, and I'm stupid, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. And I developed that attitude, and it was a huge, huge kind of burden on me, and it weighed me down in the biggest way. And then, there was just this moment. I had some amazing teachers and some amazing staff at my high school, and we all sat down, all of my teachers. Can you imagine that? All of my teachers in my high school and my middle school sat down together, and they had a conversation with me, and they shifted my mindset from how can't I to how can I? And they shifted it from, okay, you need to stop looking at the things that you can't do, that you struggle to do. And it's not that you can't do them. It's just you have a harder time than everyone else. And that's okay. That's the cards that you've been dealt. And you need to start looking at the things that you can do, that you can succeed at. You're an amazing athlete, right? Your brother's not a good athlete. He's a good mathlete, right? He's good at math, but he's not a good athlete. You're an amazing athlete. You have the ability and endurance to focus, right? I had an ability to focus and set my mind to something and put all my effort into it and to achieve it, right? And so this meeting with my teachers shifted me from a place of I'm awful at all these things to like, wait a minute, how can I do this? How can I read this book? How can I get the most out of this book? And I have to tell you, it gave me the most amazing skills I could ever ask for. And if I could give one thing to my kids, I would ask for them to have a learning disability. And that sounds a little messed up and a little bit twisted. I want them to have challenges. I want them to fail. I want them to have a hard time, and I want them to struggle. Same as I want for everyone else, because it makes you this amazing person and it empowers you in this beautiful way. And if you go and you look up people who have similar issues, who have overcome PTSD and gone on to do great things, or have done things blind, or have been dyslexic, of the billionaires and the millionaires of the world, this was something my teacher showed me too, of those successful people, an obnoxious amount were dyslexic. Like 80% of them are dyslexic. So start, thinking about how can I, and it will change your entire life. And again, these are the cards that you've been built. Because I was dyslexic, I had to develop reading strategies. Now I read like a book a week, a book every 2 weeks. And I love reading. I love learning because I was able to develop these strategies. Am I still a slower reader than most people or average people? Do I have to work harder at it? Yes, absolutely. But truly it doesn't matter because this is my life, right? This is all that I have. So at the end of the day, you have to work with the circumstances that you have, and you have to think of how can I? So that's what I wanted to kind of portray to you here. I'm rooting for you in the biggest way. I do. I have this like big heart, and I want to help you at the highest level, and I'm here to help in any way I can. I bend over backwards for people to make this work for them, to adjust to different learning needs, adjust to different learning abilities. And, I'm willing to help you every step of the way with this. But I want to start to pull that how can I attitude out of you. And I saw you schedule a coaching call. That's amazing. We'll be able to kind of chat, obviously live one-on-one there. But I want you to keep that in mind throughout the rest of your day here today, throughout the rest of the week here, and throughout the rest of your journey here. Because the bottom line is, those are the cards you have, right? That's the situation that you're in. There's nothing I can do about your situation except help you. The only person that can change your situation is you. And some things won't change. I'll always be dyslexic. I'll always be a bad speller, right? But I've learned these strategies and these tools to work through that, right? To give me the ability to read, to give me the ability to learn and grow. And now I do things with video and audio and things like that. So you have to adapt based on your situation. And I'm willing to help you do that, but that's what I wanted to kind of pull out of you. Think about what can I be grateful for? What are the good things that are going on in my life? And start to develop that attitude and bring that attitude forward with you again throughout your day, month, year recovery journey. Because again, that's your situation that you have. Right? It doesn't mean it's not hard, doesn't mean it's not going to hurt at times, but that's your situation. And, no matter kind of what you do, you have to kind of go through the steps. You're going to have to work at this recovery journey, no matter how you do it, even if you have to do it listening, even if it takes you twice as long as it would take me. What matters is that you're moving forward. And I always tell this to people, if you get 1% better every day, in a year, you get 365% better. If you get 0.5% better every day, that's a baby step. From today to tomorrow, that looks like nothing, right? But if you get 0.5% better every day, and you look back over a year, you're more than 100% better. You're 150% better and then some. So I just wanted to kind of portray that message to you. Again, it comes as a hug and a kick in the butt, and I know that. But I want to start to pull that attitude out of you, that way of thinking. How can I do this? How can I make this work? What can I do to fit this into my schedule? What can I do to work with the struggles I'm having with my eyesight? Is there a time of day where the headaches don't bother me quite as much, where I can log in and I can do 15 minutes? How much can I do? How can I do this? How can I make the most of this? What can I ask Kayleen that would help me get more out of the program? You know, just keep thinking of that. And you're doing a great job, again, because you're asking questions, you're interacting. And I want to affirm that, because it's a huge sign. It's a sign of growth. It's a sign of someone who really wants it. I know you really want it, and I want to help you get it. So again, this comes from a place of love, and sometimes it's a little bit of kick in the butt, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to coach you and to help you through this journey, and to do what I can to serve you at the highest level. So I'm rooting for you. I love you. I believe in you, again, at the very highest level. Keep reaching out, keep asking questions. And if I don't hear from you in the next couple of days, I will talk to you on our coaching call. So I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon.